Hello, welcome in. How are you doing? Big ups, happy Tuesday. Vibes from the day after today, episode, I think it's number 79 today. Things may look a little bit different than usual. I am on a new StreamYard account, so it's the free version. So you might get some ugly things like there's that duck up there in the corner, but nonetheless, the duck will not stop us from putting on a show. I know this is an obscure time. Champions League is on right now. People might say, Jacob, what the hell are you doing streaming at this hour? It is what it is. My wife's going to be working till late tonight, and I didn't want to do a stream super late, so I had to bring one to you now. Tell you how I'm feeling the day after. If anyone cares, I don't know, but we'll sort that out as we go along. But make sure if you are here live or on playback, make sure you hit that like for me one time. I do appreciate that. I hope you're feeling too blessed to be stressed today on this Tuesday, the day after going back to the top of the league. Last I saw, someone keep me updated in the chat if you don't mind. What's going on with that Bayern Munich match? I'm real curious to see how that thing's going to shake out. But nonetheless, I have changed my shirt as well. As you can see, I'm no longer wearing the damn kangaroo shirt. Trying to not do the kangaroo shirt anymore. But how are we doing? Again, welcome in. Let's see Akif with the first chat of the day. Big up Akif, how are you doing? I know you're probably watching that Galatasaray match right now as we speak, but big up Akif says big up Galatasaray versus Bayern Munich, Sanchez versus Kane. You should watch. I'm going to watch. So see you later, everyone. Big up Akif. Appreciate you being here. If I'm going to be honest, I do have it right down here. So I am keeping up with it, but I didn't want to do, I was thinking about it. I could have done like a Bayern Munich watch along, but that seems like a little weird to me. Why would I do a Bayern Munich watch along? It's kind of what I thought, but nonetheless, we are here. We're here. I'm not going to do a Bayern Munich watch along, unfortunately, just because why would I? But hey, Akif, I hope Sanchez wins the battle today. Last I saw, I think it was 1-0 to Bayern Munich already. Everyone's predicting Bayern Munich to win. But nonetheless, Bayern Munich has nothing to do. Yeah, it is 1-0. I just checked. 26th minute. So good luck, Akif, the rest of the way. Elvis G's here. How are you doing? Elvis G says, good evening, Jacob and chat. I'm still gassed about going top again. I think Ange's post-match comments were spot on. He is the father of us all. Big up, Elvis. At least I know what you voted yesterday, my friend. Because honestly, there is an option in the poll today. A little bit different than yesterday, but, not too different. Just a general question saying, how are we feeling the day after going back to our rightful spot? Obviously, I misspelled rightful, unfortunately. Whoopsie-doop. Didn't mean to do that. But let me know how you're feeling right now out of 16 votes. 62% says, feel good. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Hey, shout out. This is Football in the chat. Back to top of the league. Talk to me nicely. Hussam, you want the link? I'll send you the link right now. You come tell me how we're lucky. But I'm dispelling all myths about luck. There is no luck involved. We are just that good. And we're only going to get better as time goes on. So big up. Big up Chris Peters, 10-inch club member in the house. Chris Peters, how are you doing? Says, evening, Jacob and chat. I'm just watching the game again on the Tottenham site. Need a different perspective, but it seems the ref was awful. Hey, I ain't here to talk about refs. I don't talk about refs when we win. I don't talk about refs when we lose. I will acknowledge the mistakes, but I would rather look at the fact that we were unclinical. We should have won by 6-0. So that to me is more important than the refs' performance personally, because one of them is paid by Tottenham Hotspur. The other is not. But big up Spurs GCTV. Big up Chris. Let me know what you see on that. You were at the game yesterday, so watching it on broadcast will give you a fresh perspective. So let me know your thoughts. Spurs GCTV says, yo, Jacob. Hope you are well, my friend. Feeling great. Let's make the most of it and bask in the sunshine. It is a sunny, cool, windy day here in El Paso, Texas. Is my kind of weather. So you know what? Pin to Galatasaray. Big up Drula, keeping me updated. Drula, thank you so much. So apparently I just went to check if I could pull up the game while I did this stream, and I share a fair play. I share an account on Paramount Plus with somebody. My wife and I share an account with somebody, and they changed their password, and I haven't entered the new password, so I can't even watch it. So please do keep me updated. But big up Spurs GCTV. I hope everyone's still feeling immaculate the day after. I mean, I like to do these shows no matter what day we play. Let's just see what the vibe's like the day after. You know what I mean? Today's obviously vibes from the day after going back to the top of the league. Last time it was vibes the day after smashing up on whoever the hell's going to be our next victim. Look, we got Palace on Friday. It'll be a quick turnaround. I'll put it that way. But you know what? Ange has a chance to win third consecutive manager of the month. If we win on Friday, I think he might get it. I'm just saying, we get full 3 points at Sellers Park. I think he's going to get it, y'all. But big up Spurs GCTV. Hope you're well. Kim Spurs GCTV. I like this. Are y'all related? I don't know. The dog doesn't look the same. One looks more chocolatey. One looks more charcoal. But they were both cute nonetheless. Kim Spurs says, evening, Jacob. Big up to the GCTV family, I think y'all might be. But big up Ryman's son as well. Says, hey, Jacob, up the Jacob. Hey, up the Ryman's son. Big up yourself right now. Appreciate you being here. Drula, thank you for being here as well. Keeping me updated with the pin to Galatasaray. Says, good evening, Jacob in chat. Hey, good evening. Hey, 1-1. Who scored it? Was it Sanchez that took that penalty? 1-1. Get in, Galatasaray. Get in. Ndombele, Sanchez. Come on now. Who won like that? She's the better half. Hey, big up. Hey, look at that. Not only there's another gentleman who watches and his wife watches as well. I like that. My wife would never watch Spurs stream with me. She would never join in on the chat, so that's something special that y'all have. So big up. Long may it continue. No Chewy today, JJ. No Chewy today. He said he didn't want to come in here. Maybe if I get a second, I'll try and bring him on in here. But he's been on strike lately, and I don't know what the problem is. Maybe need to pay him more. But big up Hussam says, oh, Lord. Big up. How you doing? A user's here says, hey, Jacob, love the show. Keep up the good work. Enjoying the Spurs run. We allowed to enjoy it, right? After years of draws. Absolutely, a user. Look, I said yesterday on the show that rivals are going to try and tell you how to feel. Spurs fans are going to try and tell you how to feel. I'm telling you to feel however you feel. That is the correct way to feel about this. If you're hesitant, that's okay. If you're already in the pool swimming laps like Paul Beatty with the Hosper hippie, then you know what? Long may you keep swimming laps, my friend. For me, my feet are in the pool. I'm about ready to get dunked in. I'm about ready to make that jump. But you know what? I just need to see a little bit more. And I think that's okay. I was on the football terrace yesterday. There was some nonsense going on. They were like, if you don't think we're going to win the league, you're not a Spurs fan. It's like, they weren't saying it to me. But because I subscribe to the fact you can't tell me that we can't win the league. You can't tell me that we can't. Like, it's definitely possible. It is absolutely possible. So it's just fun. You know, the day after vibes of rivals after we win, it's more excuses, right? Oh, it's only Fulham. Oh, I think Sam said on his channel, shout out, This Is Football. He said something to the effect of 2 Bassi mistakes is what led to our goals. So, my reply to that would be, so what's your point? We capitalized on an error of an opponent. Is that a foreign idea to rivals that we would capitalize? Like, that's what you do, right? Did we take anything away from Mohamed Salah when Eric Dyer headed the ball straight into his lap? No, I mean, everyone said, oh, look, they just gave him another goal tally. But you know what? That's neither here nor there, y'all, because I'm still feeling immaculate from the day after, I'm going to be honest. But big up JJ, top of the league, baby. That's right. Talk to me nicely. Drula says, Icardi scored the pin. iCarly, whatever his name is, good job. Get that dub for Galatasaray. Do it for the lads. I want to see Galatasaray win that. Come on now. That'd be a fun little upset. But let's go ahead and get into some of the news that I have start up for the day. Y'all know how I like to do it. So we'll go ahead and we'll start off here. We'll start off slow, nice and easy. Nothing too crazy, all right? Nothing too crazy. Look, the cool part about this whole new StreamYard account, even though it's free, the free one, it still lets me do the layouts the way I want to do the layouts. It still lets me present in a fashion similar to how I present. You just got to deal with that stupid-ass duck in the corner, which honestly I don't like because it's kind of covering up some of my Tottenham memorabilia there. So I don't like it, but we're working through it. We're figuring it out as we go along, y'all. So apologies about the different presentation. I know the fact that there's not that many people here. I know the fact that that is not due to that stupid duck in the corner. I think it's just timing. No one expected United Spurs of America to go live at 11. So good morning. I should have said good morning at the beginning of the show, technically, because it is still morning here in El Paso, Texas. Out there on the Pacific Coast, I think it's Pacific Coast, the LA people, California time. Look, we're still in the morning. We're still waking up. So you're going to have to forgive me if this ain't the most snazzy, dazzy, bells and whistles type show right now. Hey, I'm still waking up. Had a little bit of a physical therapy session with my son and earlier, so that went well. Everyone dubs in the chat for that. But hey, 1-1 Galatasaray Bayern, love to see that. Love to see that. Photoshop a ball under the duck, or I just like put a ball right there, so that way the duck. That's a good point, Spurs GCTV. I think it really mostly throws me off. Like a lot of people more listen than they do watch, which makes sense because when it's just a solo stream, like if you're just watching me talk, that could be a little boring. So sometimes people put it on and do something else while I talk in the background. That's totally cool. 21 votes in the chat. 67%, a resounding 67% says, I feel good. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Look, it is what it is. I'm still strutting my stuff. Fans, rivals, nobody can tell me how to feel. The only person I would say that could tell me how to feel and I will consider it is my wife. Outside of that, ain't nobody going to tell me not to enjoy top of the league after 9 matches. More points than any other manager in his first 9 matches to manage. The Ange POSTECOGLOU'S effect. I mean, look, the way that everybody's squirming and moving now that they're seeing Tottenham start to operate, and again, our manager said last night that last 45 was the worst half of ball he's ever seen from us. He was disappointed. He was angry, and he said, even though I'm a grumpy old man about it, doesn't mean that the boys have to. They got the 3 points, so they should be proud of themselves. He said, but for me, I'm not pleased. I'm not happy with that, and that's definitely the kind of mindset that I want from my manager personally. But big up. Let me take that down real quick. Look, no one has said still think Spurs have been lucky. I thought if Sam was here, I thought he would have voted that for sure. But 18% says I'm enjoying the now while looking ahead. That's good. That's good as well, because I'm still looking ahead. I'm still looking at Palace. I'm still looking at Chelsea. And I know we got that dirty, squirty run of Liverpool City and Arsenal and Newcastle. And yeah, I know that's coming up. But again, that's tomorrow Jacob's problem. Today's Jacob is enjoying the win while looking at Crystal Palace. I think that's a fair place to be for me. For the Spurs players, I think they need to be already thinking about Palace and not thinking about yesterday. But for me, as other fans, it's okay to just enjoy yourself a little bit. Look, I always say this. I'm going to enjoy my time while I'm here rather than worry or fear for things to come. Look, I don't control tomorrow or a week from today. I only control how I feel and take things today and how I can look at the near future. Like it's always good to have the big picture in mind, but like stressing about the big picture is not good for your heart, your brain, or any of your respiratory shit in your lungs and stuff. That's just what the doctors say, so I don't know. But I'm just saying, enjoy yourself. Spurs fans, rival fans, enjoy what you're seeing because, everyone's waiting for our downfall now. Everyone keeps saying, look, they're lucky, they're this. I said I believe it was yesterday. Shit, all my days start bleeding together. I said that at some point we are going to stumble. We are going to have a hiccup in the road, so to speak, flat tire on the road trip. And we're going to have to fix that flat tire and show how we respond in those situations. I think with Ange POSTECOGLOU, that mindset that we have begun to start building, the foundation that we have begun to start building, I just can't help but be excited about what I'm seeing. And when people who supported this club longer than I have, Paul Beatty, Kuva, the likes, there's more, many, many more, and they tell me they've never had this feeling, and I've never had this feeling, and we're all for the first time experiencing a new feeling. To me, that tells me something is fucking brewing. It's not just me being a lunatic or me being delusional or me like wishing and hoping for something that's not actually like legitimately possible. I think it is so possible right now. Now, is it a reality? Is it realistic? Maybe not. But is it possible? Fuck yes. It is so possible for us to go win this league. Look, I'm not saying yet that I believe we will, but I think that we could. Hey, people talk about injuries, and I agree. I subscribe to the fact that I think if we got injuries, 5 different positions, we look a lot different. Obviously, with Basuma going off, that was a little bit of a test. Let's see how Højbjerg does, which I got some things on Højbjerg we'll talk about in a little bit. But for the most part, I thought we fared that first test well. Well, excuse me, that test. Because every match, I feel like, has presented a unique opportunity to learn and grow as a young team under a new manager. I was going to say young manager, but he's not very young. My point being in saying that is, I think that... Oh, big up. Big up, Rick C. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I saw y'all's comments here. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Hey, there was a bass. I mean, in my generation, they had big Billy Mouth bass or whatever it was. It was this fucking plastic fish that was on the wall. You hang him on the wall, and he was singing a song, Don't Worry, Be Happy. And I'd hear that shit, and I remember being grounded and fucking watching that stupid-ass fish on the wall, thinking to myself, man, if I could be ungrounded, I won't worry and be happy. And I was just remember being like, that's so stupid of a saying, don't worry, be happy. But you know what? Like, the older you get, the more wise you get, and the more it is like, bro, there are things you don't control. So I'm gonna sing it note for note. Don't worry. I love that song. But yeah, shout out Big Mouth, Billy Mouth Bass, whatever that thing was. Spurs U says 9 games with no loss is not just luck. Talk to me nicely, Spurs U. I've been saying this. I said it after Arsenal. Was not luck. We should have won that match. After Liverpool, was not luck. Sheffield was not luck. Luton, I know it took us a minute, but that wasn't. There hasn't been a moment where I'm like, oh yeah, we're really lucky there. The only moment where people can come to me and I'll actually have a conversation about it is the offside goal versus Diaz. At Liverpool. But that was so early on in the match, you can't tell me that we wouldn't have had a chance to at least show our resiliency that we've shown before and fight back from a losing position. Now, granted, that's why I don't say it's luck, because at the end of the day, you create your own luck. Pedro Porro was not lucky whenever he's zinged that cross. I mean, I guess it was kind of a sizzler on the ground. And Joel Matip with the clean-ass finish. That ain't luck. That's us applying pressure. Oliver Skip was on Joel Matip's back, so let's not forget. I just think sometimes people want that easy excuse, that easy reason. They're seeing something that is an anomaly, something that they're not used to seeing, and they're like, here's an excuse why. Here's a reason why. Let me rationalize in my brain why I see Spurs top of the league again. They're rationalizing, and that's okay, because when we see something so profound, so mesmerizing that you just haven't even warmed up the idea to for your brain, it's hard to understand why. And so you want to look for excuses. I understand. I definitely understand. But for me, ain't no excuses, ain't no luck, ain't no two ways about it. We are playing a beautiful brand of football that is still growing and learning. My manager said it before the international break. We have put ourselves in a great position, but we have not accomplished anything. By being in this position, we have laid some really good, great foundational work, is what he said. And I love that, because yes, everyone wants to take the piss out of Spurs fans. Oh, they're celebrating a 9-game trophy. Oh, they're celebrating the win the league in October trophy. And that's just not the case. I think they're seeing some fans' reactions to things, and they're over inflating their emotions with that, and then they're coming to that conclusion. For me, what I think it is like I just said, when you see something that you ain't seen before, that you don't want to see, you try to rationalize it however you can. Look, I'm fine with people doing that. I'm okay. The longer motherfuckers want to say, oh, it's luck, this is the excuse, this is the reason why they got the result, and it wasn't because they went out there and dominated. Yesterday, for me, the reason we got 3 points, we went out there and dominated over 90 minutes of football, and there's no two ways about that either. Clean sheet, 2 goals, Cool as you like. Now I can be nitpicky and say, oh, we should have had another one here, another one there. They could have got one there. But that's just being nitpicky. I like to look back and say the result is the result. The 90 minutes are now done and dusted. Let's just look at that and not talk about the ifs and buts. But again, we could always talk about the hyperboles. We could always talk about the legitimate facts. But at the end of the day, top of the league, I don't care what anybody says. Men lie, women lie, numbers do not lie. The table is not lying right now when it says we are 2 points clear of City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. That's just what it is. But big up, I see 3 people subscribe during the show, which is crazy because there's like a very small but beautiful, loving bunch here with me live. So I want to say, hey, another one. 4 people have subscribed during the show just started. Big up. I don't know where y'all came from, but y'all blessing me. You're blessing me on a Tuesday. Thank you very much. I hope you get what you came here for when you subscribe, because it's absolutely free to hit that like, absolutely free to subscribe and participate in the poll, and then tell me how you feel in the chat. So go ahead and do that if you don't mind, or don't. It's all totally up to you. No pressure here. Mike Dawes in the house. Big up Mike Dawes. Of course it's not Spurs U, but you have to look at the level of competition and the fact that there are 29 games left, but a solid start nonetheless. Hey, Mike Dawes, I don't think you're a Spurs fan, because I think you were on Hassam's channel, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but big up Mike. Thanks for being here. I do want to say I absolutely agree. A solid start. I'm going to work from the back forward with this statement here. It is a solid start nonetheless, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I'm sitting back enjoying loving life right now. There are 29 games left, and after we beat Palace, which we should, there's going to be 28 games left, and then after that 27. And again, this is winning a league is a slow process. Ask Arsenal. They thought for weeks they had the thing, but City is City, and I think Liverpool will be Liverpool. These are clubs that will come get you. I just don't think Arsenal got it in there. I don't think their manager's resilient. I don't think their mindset is anywhere close to ours or Liverpool or City. That's just me being, you can call it whatever you want. But, Mike, what I also will say is, looking at the level of competition is one thing. That's great. But you can only be who's in front of you. Spurs didn't make the schedule. Some of those lower tier teams, those are away matches in another year that we could have dropped those points, and we did. I think the return fixture so far, we're up 11 points on return fixtures compared to last season. I don't like looking at last season, because last season with Conte is not this season with Ange POSTECOGLOU'S, and I use that argument continually, so I don't like to look back personally. But I do agree. Look, there's a whole shit ton. While I sit up there and I tout the fact that you cannot tell me that it is not a possibility or a legitimate reality, because numbers wise, we are not out of it. But the same could be said about relegation. We could literally lose the rest of our matches and get relegated. That's mathematically possible as well. So look, we're in a crucial part where it's just like, keep believing, keep enjoying it, keep hoping for the best. And you know what? Maybe we just keep pushing and watering that lawn, and let's see how green this grass can get. You know what I'm saying? But big up Mike Dawes. Appreciate you being here. Cream is in the house. Hi, Jade. Please take note. City, Liverpool, Man U, Chelsea, and even Gooners must still hit form, but so must Spurs still. This is a very good point, Cream. Look, I've said this before. Liverpool's going to get better. They're not firing on all cylinders right now. Chelsea are going to get better. They're not they're not the finished article yet. Man U, I don't know. Gooners, I don't know. But City, same thing. But so are Spurs. Historically, Ange POSTECOGLOU'S has started relatively slow, had a rough start in the beginning, and then keeps climbing that ladder of productivity. So the longer these boys are breathing the carbon dioxide emitted from Ange POSTECOGLOU'S mouth, the better it is for us. So while they continue to learn how to fire on all cylinders, so are we. And look how young we are into this process. I love the fact that we are like 4 months into this. Arsenal are 4 years into it. Man U are 2 years into it. Or they're starting their second year, or whatever you want to say with Ten Hag. But look, no one is getting a tune out of their players like Ange POSTECOGLOU'S. So, hey, can't wait till we get the best tune out of all these players. Rich is in the house. Big up, Rich. YouTube chat member says, big up. To be fair, we did much better without Bissouma than I thought we would. Injuries may not be as damaging as we feared. Maybe that was old Spurs. Big up, Rich. What I will say is, yeah, I was concerned with Paulinho there in the midfield with no Bissouma, because I wanted Bissouma to just log his ass up and teach him how to actually run that position. But look, Højbjerg, I got some stuff we're going to bring up on him, and we'll talk about it. But Højbjerg, the Viking, the true professional, what can we say? Mike Doss says, Liverpool could say the same thing. Could have been 2-0 at half if the goal stood, because Son's goal came on the free kick after the offsides. But that's the only game to question. Fair enough. That's fair. Look, at the end of the day with that Liverpool result, I just walk away from it like, look, I took 3 points. There's been times Spurs have been super hard done by the refs, and we've lost 3 points, or we ended up drawing a match because of a ref's decision. So again, in those situations, me personally, as just me, this is just me speaking here, I don't blame those refs on those situations, because I say, yes, he may have ruled off Lucas Moura handball when he's literally got fouled to the ground, but he got fouled and fell, and the ball hit his arm, and then we picked it up and ended up scoring. But they said that was a handball, and we ended up drawing or losing that match. No one cared then. And they said later, yeah, that shouldn't have been. But no one cared then. So, like, for me, this is a selfish point of view, but I just see it like, look, sometimes when you're in the battlefield, you catch a stray bullet, and we are just fortunate enough on that day specifically, we were not that one. It was Liverpool, and look, I hate where officiating is at. But if we're gonna call it for one end, we got to call it for the Nottingham Forest and the Southampton. Southampton got hard done by a penalty or a VAR decision that they reversed later on after the fact, and they ended up getting fucking relegated. So, but no one cried for them. That's my only point with the Liverpool thing. Nick De La Torre is here, says, I can't wait for a competent backup for Maddison so the quality doesn't fall so much when Maddison comes off. Look, Nick, it's not just when Maddison comes off. Let me see about yesterday, but to my knowledge, when Maddison comes off, so does Son. And that's basically two crucial cogs in a machine that when you take those out, it's going to look a lot different. Let's see. Fulham match. Yes, we took out Son, Maddison, and Richarlison all at the same time. So we had that little triple sub. So that's a lot of that. That was basically all of our people who were creative on the day going. And then I guess Kulusevski stayed. But I do agree. Look, when Maddison comes off, we look a completely different side. I didn't really think Giovanni Lo Celso did anything for me yesterday, but again, it was very minute sample size. But Brennan Johnson was kind of like, meh. Lo Celso was kind of meh. Valise, like, what am I expecting from him? Nothing. So I guess better than meh. I don't know. We could talk about the substitutions, but look, I just think James Maddison is so much quality. He oozes so much class that there's going to be a drop-off no matter what we do, no matter who it is that comes in. Big up Caption Grandma in the house says, good day, China. I looked ahead to our upcoming fixtures, and Spurs are supposed to play Wet Spam December 5th, 2 days after Man City. That can't be right. Please put your Sherlock cap on and investigate. I have seen this. I brought this up a couple days ago, Caption Grandma, that we are, in fact, in a weird predicament where I think maybe they haven't moved it yet. But we are not the only one. I believe West Ham also play this. They also have 2 days in between the match as well. So I think it's like kind of fucking both clubs over, if I'm not mistaken. That's how at least I remember seeing it a couple days ago. Texting my wife here if she can turn the AC on when she gets a chance. It's hot in here. It's getting warm. The sun's banging through that window, and it is warming up in here. But big up. Big up, Captain Grandma. I hope you're doing well. Spurs U says, if the past is a predictor of future, which is factually and scientifically the most reasonable way to predict the future, and the past is currently almost a quarter of the total season, who knows what can happen? But people who say that Spurs winning the league is impossible is unreasonable. I just think they're either unreasonable or they've been traumatized. Spurs have absolutely broken a lot of people over the course of their lifetime, and I'm not knocking, I'm not judging. I'm just saying I understand. But I'm also saying, hey, it's okay to be okay. It's okay to enjoy this. Rich says, love that Ange called out the second half performance. You really get the impression that the result doesn't matter nearly as much as the way we are playing. Bang on, Rich. He There's another quote. All right, you know what? I'm gonna pull up that quote because just the way what he says, man, is just, I don't know how to explain it. Now I know I'm scrolling through like all my shit here, but here it is. Let me go ahead and swap the screenies. So Ange Postecoglou, on his goals for his Tottenham team for the rest of the season, he says, quote, "I will be bitterly disappointed if we haven't improved as a football club from where we are right now. I still think we have so much more improvement in us." Look, this is his goal. He didn't talk about winning anything. He didn't talk about final placing anything. He just says, "I'll be disappointed if we have not improved from where we are right now." Which, where we are right now is top of the league. No one can stop us. But he wants to see us improve regardless, and that's the mindset we have to have at Tottenham Hotspur. Honestly, Ange Postecoglou, what a man! And look how he's biting that bottom lip. I need to save this photo because I don't even think I have it saved. I'm gonna save it right now, live on air as we speak. So apologies for that. But sometimes you just find a photo, you just gotta save it and use it again. Ange after Fulham win. Boom, there it is. Save that. I might use that as a thumbnail in the coming days. Don't you worry about that. But I love everything that Ange Postecoglou says. Just a girl who loves Spurs. Big up, Kate. Says, "Evening, Jacob and Chewy." Big up. How you doing, Kate? Jim is here as well. Big up, Jacob and Chewy. You're on early today. Yep. Wasn't going to be able to do a late show today. It was going to be like way late. 3 hours later than usual. And I was like, 3 hours later than usual, or just knock it out early and say hello. How you doing, everybody? Even if there's not as many people here as usual, hey, you still got to do the thing. You know what I mean, Jim? But big up. I appreciate you and Kate being here. Hope y'all are well. Hashtag Jim in forever. Archibald is here. Hello, Archibald. Says, "Hi, Jacob." Hey, Archibald. How you doing? Happy Tuesday, my friend. Hope you're feeling immaculate. Yeah, I thought you were a Liverpool fan, Mike Doss. That's where I know the name. That's where I think I know the name from. Ryman's son. Could Ange get Consecutive Manager of the Month award for the month of October if we win at Palace? Come on, you Spurs. Well, let's look at it, y'all. I think the way that it shakes out, because there's an international break again, isn't there? Oh, wait. No, it's just the way that it works out. I think it's the last match of October. Let's look at the schedule real quick together. Let's look at the schedule. We play on October 27th. That's the last game in October. So I think by default, if you look at October, win, and we get a win, that's 3 out of 3 dubs, 9 points. And if we keep a clean sheet, that's 0 goals conceded in the month of October. Talk to me nicely. Yes, Ryman's son, 3-peat is on. Ange Postecoglou. Now, if we could get, if Son gets a hat trick or something, a hat 4, and then we could get 3-peat of player and manager. Nah, they wouldn't let that happen. They would have to they'd have to put a stop on that. I don't know. Big up Alfred Oscarson. How you doing? Says, "Loving the positivity, man, but you also a realistic guy. Keep it up, Alfred." Big up, Alfred. I appreciate you saying that. I try to be as authentic as I can. I had a great comment on the YouTube on yesterday's stream, I believe it was. I kind of wanted to read it live here on air because I really like the way that they said this, and I tried to respond with, you know, how I feel about it. So they said, look, they said, "Jacob, you're great at delivering realistic views while also expressing the possibilities, and none of them are impossible." And then he goes on to say, "It's a great showing today," and then talking about Van de Ven and Romero and Vicario. And then he talks some about the football tears. But I just thought that, like, I appreciate this comment, that comment, and like what I would say to both. I mean, well, I did reply to one of them, and I'll reply to this one right now. I just said, like, look, I appreciate it. Those words do mean a lot to me. I really just try to be as authentic as I can. I don't put on an act. I don't put on a gimmick. I'm not, like, putting on sunglasses and a mustache trying to be somebody that I ain't. You're going to get Jacob. That's just what you're going to get when you come here to United Spurs of America. Now, some people don't tune in for that reason. Some people do tune in for that reason. I'm here for the people who do. So, look. I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to be talking my shit. I'm always going to be saying things the way I see it. And sometimes people say, "Oh, that's delusional." But, you know, no one's ever actually accused me of being like a happy clapper. And I don't think that I am a happy clapper. I think I'm a realistic, passionate person who loves Spurs and maybe has a little bit too much love for some of the players. And you can fault me for that all you want. I don't really mind. I'd rather die on the hill of supporting my players than surviving and thriving on a hill of always doubting our players. That's just me, but there's no right way to support Spurs. I just got to be me. And that's all I try to do, Alfred. So I appreciate you recognizing that. That's all I could really say. So appreciate you, Alfred. Thank you for the compliment. San Antonio Hotspurs here says, we was up 1-0, by the way. It would have been 2-1, but okay. Big up. I like that. Big up, Jim. Enigma's here. Says, I will be fully convinced when we beat Chelsea. Whoo, when we beat Chelsea. I can't wait for Pochettino to come to the lane. I wonder what that's going to be like. Barry Shuttleworth is here. Big up, Barry Shuttleworth. Says, we ended up losing the game against Sheffield United 3-1. The Lucas. Oh, we ended up losing. You're right. We didn't even draw. But no one cared, Barry Shuttleworth. No one cared then. I couldn't even remember who it was against. I just remember the crimes committed that day. And I remember just feeling so like, wow, they really are doing that right in front of our fucking face and nothing's going to happen about it. And really upsetting stuff. Look, that's why I sympathize with Liverpool fans who are still upset about the loss to Spurs. But as a Spurs fan, I don't care. As a Spurs fan, the way that I feel is this.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
We don't. It's 3 points, and I love it. But I do feel bad in like a sense. Like, I've been there. Damn, that sucks. Like, when you see someone with a flat tire, but you don't have time to stop and help them, you're just like, bro, that sucks. Hopefully you get it all done, you know. I can't help you. Enigma says, once we beat Chelsea, it'll be clear that we can beat everyone below top 6. Ooh, look at that. I like the way that sounds. You're talking a little bit nasty to me, and I like it, Enigma. I'm just saying, there's 5 other teams in the Big 6. We've played 3 of them. 2 times at home and 1 away. And we've gotten points every single time. 2 of those we won out of the 3. The one that we did not was away from home, and we got a point. I'm just saying. And that was against title challengers Arsenal, which they should be fucking title challengers. They almost got away with one last season, and then they spent $160 million on 2 different players. They should be challenging for a title. That's just my opinion. Big up, that TPS player just came here to tell Kate that Heritage TV is live streaming. Yeah, I'm sure she's aware, but thank you for the information, and we're glad that your first comment was to tell her that. I love that. Big up yourself right now, that TPS player. Mick Dundee's here, says, Ange wants to build a club that is consistently competitive for all competitions year in, year out. Mick Dundee, nail on the head, my friend. He has said this. I've read the quote live on air, and I absolutely love it. Because that's what I want as well. I don't want us to do a Leicester, just come up, win a league, FA dip. I want us to go up, win a league, FA Cup, and then continually compete in those competitions still. I care so much about an FA Cup. I care so much about a Carabao. I'll take a Europa. I'll take a Conference League. I'll take anything. Let's just build this foundation on winning, and that'll create a culture here of expectations being, we have to win this year or the fans are pissed because we need to build that culture. We need to get to a point where we're like united and we're just saying, oh, a Carabao Cup's not enough. We need more. That's what I want us to look like in the future. I want my son to grow up. My future daughter, may her little peach body be blessed. I want them to grow up demanding, expecting trophies, titles. And I think that's what we could build here with Ange. I really do think that. I don't think that's delusional to hope and to dream that is a eventual reality that we could be faced with. Love the gym in. Oh, always gym in, Jim. You know that. Ryman's son says, Jacob, once you get to this, I think it's time for a Kuti photo break. Here is the downside, the major downside. So those were technically overlays. And now that I'm on this new StreamYard account, I have to pay money to put the overlays. So I can't even do I only can do video clips like this.
He needs some milk.
Like that. And then my intro countdown. So we're running on fumes here, Ryman's son. I appreciate this. Is one of the things I told my wife. I was like, damn, on my show, I love pulling up photos of Kuti at random, and I have a slew of them. And I have so many Kuti photos to share at any given moment that it really is kind of disappointing. And So I'm going to try to get to a point where I've got the upgraded version of StreamYard. But I just created this account today so I could go ahead and get the stream done because didn't want to conflict with the other account that I was on. So, but big up. Sorry, man. I fucking wish I could bring up a cootie photo. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. Mick Dundee says, after Crystal Palace, there will be Chelsea, Villa, Man City, Newcastle in the next 6 games. After that, we'll really know where Spurs are at. In Ange we trust. Look, I don't want to be a buzzkill here. I don't want to be a buzzkill, but we got to acknowledge the fact that after Wolves is another 2-week international break. Look at that. So we go 27th we play, and then the 6th of November, a week later we play. 5 days later we play Wolves at the Molineux, which might actually be a tricky away fixture. And then a 2-week break. And then when we get back from that break is when the shit really starts rolling down the hills, my friend. Because we got Villa, then we got City, then we got West Ham 2 days later. Then 4 days after that, we got Newcastle. And then a week later, at least we got a little week there, Nottingham Forest. And then another little week break, we got Everton. Then 3 days after Everton, we have Brighton, the damn Seagulls, and ending the year off with Bournemouth. Look, we could still snatch up a lot of points here. Everton, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, that should be 9. West Ham, that should be 12. We could talk about the rest, but look, those are the automatic dubs I see in my near horizon. I can't wait to see if we're still top of the league in January. It's on, baby. It is on. Lord have mercy, it is on. Let's see what let's see how January starts off. United, get that dub at the old Trap Fart. Let's go get that. And then Brentford at home, get the 3 points that we deserved on the road. Right that wrong. And look at that. And April might be a little tricky. April's a little tricky, I admit. That's okay. My daughter will be born somewhere around here too, so right in the thick of it is when she'll be born. What a lovely time to have a baby. What a great planning I did. Big up Mike says, always appreciate the authenticity. Big up, we on top, and that's all that matters. Hey, we on top, baby. When they look up, they see us. When I look up, I see blue skies. That's just the fact of the matter, y'all. Some people don't like it, but it just is what it is. Whatever way we look at it, Jacob, if we buy well in January, we are in the title race. Negative or positive don't mean shit. It's a fact, mate. Big up, Jim. I agree. Look, I said this. If in January we are in and around the top spots, 5 to 7 points, I like our chances to at least compete. And at that point, you could say anything could happen because we have City late on in the season. Again, I do worry with how much I feel that Ange breaks every curse. I worry that for good or for worse, he will break all curses, which I do think I see City scoring against us at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Something tells me that's going to happen. I don't. Something about it just doesn't feel good. When Son presses Chelsea Sanchez like he pressed Fulham's keeper, I'm there with popcorn. Hey, Archibald, I did do a laugh along for that Chelsea versus Arsenal match, and Jesus, both of those keepers look like ass cheeks. And honestly, made me very glad that we have Vicario. I remember how many fans were upset saying, oh, we went the cheap route. Oh, we should have gotten Raya. We should have just spent the money, gotten our number 1 for years to come, and moved on. But I mean, I'm watching that match thinking, I'm kind of glad we didn't go and buy this fucker. That's a horrible game. But you know, hey, I'm not here to judge. But big up Archibald. I can't wait to see when Son presses Sanchez. Shit, even anybody pressing that. Look, Chelsea, I think they're okay. I think they're an okay side, and they're starting to figure out what they're trying to do. They're in the same boat as us, fresh into their project, trying to establish themselves with their ethos, their philosophy. But it's our game for the taking, 100%. Enigma. We are a center back, an attacking mid, a defensive mid, and a striker away from being the challengers. Right now, we can hope no one gets injured to be. Madison and Bentancur can manage during AFCON, but Son will be missed. Hope Johnson can step up by January during Son's absence. I hope somebody can. Well, it's probably going to be Richarlison through the middle, if I'm honest. But, yo, I think we do need to talk about Richarlison. The man's got double or more than double the goal contributions of Kulusevski. And we all don't like Richarlison out there on the left. But he's got 4 assists or some shit like that. Let me see right now. How many assists does this man got? Because he got another one yesterday. And I think it's time we have a conversation about it. Because the man has 1 goal. And it says 3 assists. So that's 4 goal contributions. And Kulusevski only has 2 goals, I think. I think that's what it is. So, I don't know. When are we going to start that conversation? When are we starting that dialogue? Jacob, have faith. We will go the whole season unbeaten. I have faith. I guess more hope that will be the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'll cry and shed tears all over the place. Saidansa's in the house. Says, big up, Jacob. I would like to shout out my granddad. It was his funeral yesterday. He was 104. Big love. Big love, Saidancer, and big love to your grandfather and to your family during this time of loss. Look, doesn't matter how old he is. Losing a loved one's never easy. So big up to your granddad. Hope, your whole family's surrounded by love at this time. And just think of him fondly. Keep him alive in your thoughts. Keep him alive in the things that you do. That's all you can do. When I lost my mother, it was the hardest damn thing I've ever done in my life. But I'll tell you right now, the best thing you can do is just try to keep her alive, or keep him alive, excuse me, and just do what you do, make them proud, and just imagine they're watching you at every step, and that's a little bit scary. You're like, oh shit, my mama, my granddad's watching me this whole time. So just remember, just do them proud, and you'll be, whatever you believe, everything gonna be all right. That's why I see it. So just keep the loved one around you. But big up, Side Dancer. Always appreciate you showing some love. Sorry to hear about the loss, and make the good times roll on for you and your family. Captain Grandma says, it's hilarious to see pundits like Rory Slimeball Jennings squirming with Spurs being table toppers. They're all still expecting the old Spursy to emerge. Look, they're all still expecting a whole bunch of different things. And long may they continue to do that, because while they doubt, while they sleep on us, and they find excuses and reasons for what they're seeing, we just continue to get better. We just continue to execute better. Look, again, I go back. We could have won yesterday by at least 4 or 5-0, but we only did 2. We still got the 3 points, but it could be better. If we just keep improving, like, how much better can you get? We'll find out, but damn, I'm just saying, like, we just got to keep on this, y'all. We absolutely just got to keep on this. But big up, Captain Grandma. Rory Jennings is absolutely a joke. I don't even listen to anything he says, because I don't, like, there's a certain amount of waffle that's funny, and then there's a certain amount of, like, just blatant disrespect and blatant bias that I just can't even listen to from some pundits, if I'm honest. Jim, you know me, Jacob, I believe, mate. Hey, I know you believe, and no one got to tell you to believe. I know you do. Big up Mick Hermelick in the house as well. Says, good evening, United Spurs of America. Big up, Mick. How you doing? Good to see you back in the chat. Enigma says, Richarlison's first touch was awful. Probably the worst first touch. Yeah, it's not great. But he did win the ball back in a few precarious areas for us. Look, I think that is in and around his level of competition, the Fulham, the mid-table to lower table teams. That's where Richarlison can thrive. I think where we'll see Richarlison be missing, invisible, whatever you want to say, is versus true quality out there. Like, when you're winning the ball back from Timothy Castagna and who was that guy? Lukic. Like, yeah. It's all right. It's all right. He did all right yesterday. I liked it. Hey, big up David. David hit me with a $4.99 super chat. First one of the day. Big up. Hope you're doing well. Says, big up Jacob. Son's the best captain we've ever have seen. Happy with Richie's improvement. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, true professional. Worried about Kulu's decision-making. Thoughts. Big up David. Thank you so much for the super chat, the donation. My family thanks you. I thank you. The channel thanks you. So big up. Hope you're having a great day. I believe this is David out there in LA. So good morning. How are you? It's early today, but you're here. So how you doing? Look, Son is the best captain we've ever seen. David, I think you were here in and around the time in which we were having debates on this channel with a lot of different people saying Son shouldn't be captain, or It was even before Harry Kane left. We were talking about if he does leave, who's our next captain going to be? And honestly, I always knew it was going to be Son. I always said it's got to be Son. Who else other than Son? And you know what? I love not just that he's the captain, but Maddison and Romero, them being vice captains. It's like they have a three-headed monster of leadership, but not only leadership vocally, like through the way that they conduct themselves. You know what they always say? Do as I... the old saying, like, what is it? Like Harry Kane's type of leadership. He wasn't going to go out there and, like, tell you how to do it. He's just going to try and lead by example and lift you up in that way. And it's like, we already do that, but now we already got we got the vocal side, and it's at all levels of this team. At the front level, the mid level, and the back line. Leadership, and not just leadership, again, leadership through performances. So I absolutely love our captain situation right now. I think Heung-min Son is the perfect captain. He's the perfect representation of how I want this club to be represented when we go and he has to talk in front of Sky or BBC and they all say this and that. He's very polite, he's very humble, he's the greatest human being that I've had the pleasure of gazing upon. So that's just me, super biased. But yes, I love Sonny so much. Love the way he speaks about us in public. He bleeds Tottenham through and through. And that's one of my prerequisites for me falling in love. That is one of those prerequisites. I'm going to go back and find where I was at in my updates for y'all. Because honestly, there's a lot to update. And we're almost an hour in. So please hit that like if you haven't already. Again, big up to everyone who is watching live or on playback. I know it's a funky time. I do apologize. Let me check in with the poll. Let's see how we're looking there before I finish reading the super chat. 67% says feel good. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I like that. And then 26% says enjoying the now while looking ahead. I like that as well. And then also waiting for the wheels to fall off at 6%. We got some people waiting for the wheels to fall off. Hey, go ahead and rock me, baby, like a wagon wheel. Because this wagon ain't coming apart, y'all. That's just how I feel. Talk to me nicely. And big up everyone who has hit that like and participated in the poll. I appreciate you more than you know. But let's go ahead. Let me finish off this super chat first. I'm getting distracted here. Happy with Richie's improvement. Look, I think we all said last year left wing. I never want to see Richie there again. But I guess left wing in a POSTECOGLOU'S system. He's the most similar to a Kulusevski type of winger that we have out of all of our wingers, I would say. Whereas he's not going to really spread the pitch. He's not going to open things up on the left. But what he will do is kind of be an anchor there, a point in which you can get the ball to. He'll hold it up or get fouled or fall over, and sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit. I like the improvement. It's got to be better. I don't think he's the end-all, be-all of a left wing, but look, if Ange Postecoglou wants these style of wingers, then not necessarily the pacey ones, but again, he did say Brendan Johnson was his #1 target, and that guy's pacey as hell. And not like Kulusevski or Richarlison in a winger sense, but that's besides the point. Kulusevski, for me, and Richarlison both possess the same traits defensively, which is a high work rate and aggression, eagerness to win the ball back, and they did that yesterday. Like, how could I be upset with either one of them when they did certain things that they are asked to do as a winger in this position well? But what I will say is there's got to be more. Bro, Kulusevski, if he just made his mind up half a second quicker 2 different times, the first half will be 3-0 at halftime. But he did not. And it's just, with Kulusevski, I keep seeing more and more. I said this yesterday kind of as a joke. Like, I think Kulusevski is becoming like the Højbjerg type of winger where he does the good, the bad, and the ugly. Oh, shit, I texted the wrong person. I thought I was texting my wife. I asked someone else to turn the AC on. Wow. I sent that to some random person in my messages. Sorry about that, y'all. Whenever you get a chance, it's hot in here. No Nelly. I'm happy with Richie's improvement. Højbjerg, look, he is a true professional, and since you went ahead and now I'm getting clowned in my messages. He said, "Get your lazy ass up and go turn the AC on yourself." I said, "Bitch, I'm live, jerk. Come on now." Anyway, sorry, super distracted. Look, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, I got some things on him, and since you super chat, I'm going to go ahead and bring him up now because I think it is a good point to talk about real quick. So let me go ahead and switch this screen around. Simon Yemain, I reference him a few times on Twitter. He's got some good points he brings up. He says, Højbjerg is not Basuma. He will never be Basuma. Judging him on how much he isn't Basuma is unfair and unhelpful. Judge him based on how close he comes to the best version of what he can contribute when he plays. He came pretty close yesterday. Solid performance. Look, here's a map of all his passing, and it's not all backwards. Few very long balls as well. Again, I don't want to leave this up too much because it kind of looks like if my son tried to go ahead and like chicken doodle, do the scratch on a paper, but if I give him a crayon and let him draw, it's kind of what it looks like. But I do want to pull this up. This was Pierre-Emile Højbjerg's touch map yesterday. So he had 80 passes, 5 duels won, 2 interceptions. Now those 2 interceptions led to 2 goals for Tottenham Hotspur. So when the rivals come out and say, oh, it's from 2 Calvin Bassey mistakes that, yo, hey, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg did what Declan Rice does and everyone loves and gets all wet about. Oh, Declan Rice, he won the ball back for him. And then they went and created something from it. That's what they all say Declan Rice does well. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg did that fucking twice yesterday. I'm just saying. No one likes these conversations I have when I say, look, I think Højbjerg is just a lesser version of Rice. Everything that people tell me Rice does well, Højbjerg does that too. So that's me. And you can say, look, it was so-and-so's mistakes, but Jadank, you hitting the nail on the head. Mistakes can be another team's miracle. If you make 2 mistakes and we capitalize twice and score twice off of those mistakes, to me, that's because we're balling. That's because you don't want to see a homie shine. You're trying to keep me down. You're trying to clip my wings. Let the peacock fly. Do not touch the moth's wings. The little dust will come off, and then it will be incapable of flying. So don't do that. But big up Højbjerg. Like, 2 interceptions leading to 2 goals. That's what Basuma would have done. I don't think there's a whole lot wrong he did yesterday. The only comparison you can really make is, I guess, Basuma would have had 108 passes as opposed to 80 passes. But if you look at this map, all the points in which he passed the ball, look, if you look at this map, he's all over the fucking place. And that's what I like to see. The man's willing to get in, go there, do this, do that, the dirty work, the nasty work. It's just Basuma makes it look so much better that we think it's this major drop-off. I think Højbjerg did great yesterday. Again, the main thing that stands out to me, 2 interceptions. And if you remember, go back and watch our goals yesterday. If you go back far enough and you see the build-up to it, it is, I guess it's Bassey who passes it and it goes, and Højbjerg intercepts it, plays it to somebody who then plays it around, and we end up getting a goal. That happened twice with 2 different interceptions. So Højbjerg can only do what he can do. So I like to see it as well. David, I did lightly talk about the worried about Kulu's decision making. Look, I think if he was a little bit faster with making some of his choices, we would have won by 5-0. We would have won a lot more yesterday. If Madison and Son don't get in each other's way in front of the box, I think we see a lot more goals scored. But for me, at the end of the day, I'm not too upset about any of it. But big up David. Thank you so much for the super chat. This stupid little duck in the top corner is really making me mad. But we have just hit over an hour, y'all. I'm not ending the show. Don't worry, I'm not ending the show yet. But I am going to say that, or I did want to say, if you haven't already, please do hit that like. It means a lot to me. It does a lot for the channel. I'm getting the Wi-Fi signal now as I'm trying to plug to hit the like. I hope the damn stream's still working. I don't like that. I really don't like that whenever that thing shows up. But you know what? We move. But big up, David. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that, brother. Mick Dundee says, how long is Ange's unbeaten home record now? 52, says Enigma. I believe that is correct. In England, we call people like Rory Jennings a wanker. I thought it was a term of endearment. I'm just playing. Hit the bar says Vicario is a boss. Love the guy. I think it's about time we start throwing his name around for potential signing of the summer. Now, I don't think he is the most influential signing of the summer, but look, this guy yesterday, 0-0. What did he do? An amazing save. And this isn't the first time he's done that either. So for me, Vicario is absolutely the boss. He's the man. And, you know, the Tottenham Hotspur admin was taking the piss out of a few people yesterday because some big account ranked him like second to worst out of the big six, and they didn't even address him by name. They called him that Tottenham guy. So the admin yesterday got a video that says, "Hear from that Tottenham guy" at the end of regulation, and it was Vicario. So hey, a little bit funny of a punch back there. I like to see it. Big up, Mig. Good morning from LA indeed. Big up. David here, blessing me in the morning. Appreciate you doing that. Enigma says, I'm not sure if Lo Celso did anything yesterday. We should get rid of him and keep Højbjerg on the bench. I guess the reason why I'm more like let's keep him around for a little bit is because if Madison, I hate operating under the assumption of if. I don't like ifs, but if Madison clips his toenail wrong and he has a stub toe, or he stubs his toe in the garden or something, like he's the closest that we have in a functional 10, I think, is Lo Celso. I don't like Lo Celso. I don't rate him highly, but that's just my opinion there. Captain Grandma says Richie was possibly the best player in the first half and possibly the worst in the second half. This is a good debate. That's a good debate as well, Captain Grandma. He was great that first half. I agree. I thought he was instrumental. My favorite captain was Ledley King, says Side Dancer. Great choice as well. Ledley King's a legend. I love the way he speaks about Tottenham as well. Ryman says, leadership-wise, we have that good cop, bad cop thing. Son is the warmth, and Ange is the cold, strong man. Is it the perfect, though? That's a good way of looking at it, Ryman, son. You know, Ange comes in and says, you're all shit. Why'd you do that? And then Son comes up and says, hey, y'all, we could do that. Come on, big up, everybody. We could do it. And maybe that is the perfect mix of mocha and vanilla to make the best kind of latte that we always wanted. Maybe that is what it is. Jadank, mistakes can be another team's miracle. Look, if you're going to criticize Tottenham Hotspur for capitalizing on an opponent's mistakes, that's just the most straw man art. That's like you're hanging on to, you're grabbing whatever you can grab to try and beat us with. And at this point, you're throwing cotton at us. It doesn't hurt when you tell me, oh, you only scored because this guy made a mistake twice. Okay, so we showed you we can score in matches where it's our own doing. We showed you where we can score in matches where it's on the counter. We showed you we can score in matches where we're dictating the play and we're bringing the fight at you versus a low block. We've showed where we can score against another team that if they do want to play aggressive and high line versus us, we can score against that as well. We can score when a team makes a mistake and we don't necessarily create our own goal. We create one off of an opportunity afforded to us. How is that a negative? How is that something that they think it is like, haha, we got one on you? That's silly to me. You didn't get one on anybody. What are we doing? Bro, we scored twice off of 2 mistakes. That's fucking great. I hope we score every time an opponent makes a mistake. And you're trying to say that it's a bad thing that that's when we scored? I don't understand that argument at all. It's just the old any stick will do type of thing. And hey, Rivals doing that is perfectly fine with me. JC says, hey Jacob, big up bro. How are you? I'm good, JC. How are you doing? Good job versus Arsenal there. Y'all should have gotten the 3 points, but it's okay. We move. Says, I think you need to wait until the 6th of November. We'll see how the season goes thereafter. Can you keep everyone fit until the 6th of November? JC, what I will say is I'm looking forward to the 6th of November because remember, of course, was it remember the 6th of November? Is that what the saying is from V for Vendetta? I don't remember. Which is kind of goes, it's kind of ironic because the whole saying is to remember. But I digress. JC, I'm good. I hope you are as well. I think we can keep everyone fit until November 6th. Look, we got Palace and then we got you. That's 2 matches between here and there. We ain't playing Champions League like some of these other clubs. We should be okay. Neither is Chelsea, so y'all should be okay too. It'll be a great matchup. I like these tests that come up. I want to see I want to see us have to struggle with these tests. I think Chelsea will be a different style of test. There'll be the emotional side, the whole Pochettino side, but I think it'll be a great test for us. And I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Much like how I looked forward to the Liverpool matchup. I was looking forward to it because I was like, you know what, Arsenal, we should have won that. I want to see us go out there and win this next one. And I want to see how we respond when we're faced with duress, when we're faced with problems and things aren't going our way. How do we respond? That's what I like to see. I want to see us keep continuing to break all these myths and curses. But yeah, I do think we can keep everyone fit. Hopefully. Hey, knock on wood, but that's all we can do is hope, right? Spurs GCTV said with their membership chat says, Jacob, that duck in the corner needs some milk. You asketh and you shall receiveth. That duck definitely...
He needs some milk.
There you go, Spurs GCTV, some milk for that duck. It is annoying, but you know what? If that's the worst part of it all, and the fact that I can't pull up Christian Romero photos at will and overlay it on anyone's face, that's unfortunate. But big up Spurs GCTV, membership for a month, chat here. I appreciate that, showing the fact that you've been supporting for so long. Look at you. Go ahead. Do your thing. Captain Grandma says Fulham's mistakes were made by Spurs pressing them. No other reason, no luck involved, just hard work. Look, Captain Grandma, they don't want you to say this. They don't want you to be realistic, and they just want the mayhem. They just want a reason to say this is why they did that. And honestly, keep it going. Does not bother me. But let's go back to these things that I got saved for us for this show. Got this here from Last Word on Spurs. Says Tottenham Hotspur, after 9 games in the Premier League so far, we have the most shots on target, the most final third passes, the most touches in the opposition box, the most take-ons attempted, and most ground duels won. How many times I gotta say most before they quit saying that it's damn luck? How many times? Most. And one more, most. The most. We doing the most out here. Big up Elvis G in the house with a second super chat of the day. Big up Elvis, double dipping, and I ain't talking queso or salsa. Remember with a super chat, that's double dipping of the highest degree, and I appreciate it. Elvis says conceding any goal is a mistake. The way Spurs play forces the opponents to make errors. Sounds salty. Elvis G, look, I said the same thing about the Joel Matip goal, didn't I? I said I didn't think that was luck. It was a hell of a goal. Shout out Joel Matip each and every time. First and foremost, each and every single time. But look, Pedro Porro slicing that thing in there is not luck. Oliver Skip riding the motherfucker like he was Lil Nas X in the Old Town Road music video. Look, that's applying pressure. That is applying pressure. And, in plumbing, the water will find where the leak is. The water will find where that leak is and come on out of it. And guess what? It leaked out of the right foot of Joel Matip. I believe it was his right boot. But call it luck, call it whatever you want. I don't give a shit. I call it 3 points. But we all know. The real ones know. There was no luck involved there. There was no luck. There was... Captain Grandma said it right, too. The mistakes that Fulham made, let's isolate the incident. We could talk about the whole season as a whole, but yesterday specifically with Fulham, we pressured them, caused them to make mistakes, and we capitalized on it. I didn't know that was such a bad thing. That apparently that's something that that rivals want to beat us over the head with. Oh, they're bloody lucky. Oh, those Spurs are so lucky. If Calvin Bassey was a better player, they wouldn't have had those goals. Look, if it's Calvin Bassey or not, it would have been somebody leaking those goals. That's what I'm saying. If it wasn't Joel Matip, somebody be hitting that ball in. If it wasn't, that's what I'm saying, these people, they always just got their reasons why they want to doubt us, but that's okay. I don't really mind it at all, if I'm honest. Lots of most. Ain't that right, Drula? Lots of most. Most this, most that, most. How many times you got to tell me most before we just say, damn, maybe the motherfucker's gifted? JC says, and this is a rival. JC's a rival fan, says, no, it's not luck. Spurs are a good team with a good mix of players. Very underrated. Big up, JC. That's taking your bias hat off and addressing it like realistically. Like if I take my bias hat off, I can look at things more realistically. When it comes to Arsenal, sometimes that cap won't come off, but that's that. Kane made it 2-1. Oh, Kane, you bastard. He's always scoring, isn't he? What did they? What I remember that famous AFTV clip where the old dude that's bald, he's like, "You bloody bastard, Harry Kane! You've done it again!" Because he scored against them and they were pissed. It was hilarious. JC says, "Remind me, how many top 10 teams have you played so far away from home? This season seems to be when top 10 at home are going to be hard to beat by anyone. In such season, there can be surprises." We've played you top team. Let me look at the table. We've played Arsenal, Liverpool, United, and Palace coming up. Well, I guess they're 11th. But I mean, Fulham, they're 1 point away from you guys, from Chelsea. I guess you said away from home. Arsenal. Yeah. Again, shine the light however you want to shine it to make the shadows you're trying to make. But at the end of the day, you can only play who you're up against. This, to me, JC, with all respect, it sounds to me like one of those things where it's like, let's just find what we can say that will reduce this. And I think that it's okay as a rival. That's what I do to Arsenal. That's what I do to every rival club. I try to find reasons like, oh, well, Arsenal couldn't beat Fulham at home. You know, like we could do that, and that's fine. I just think, like, sure, we've played the title challenger away from home, and that's the only one away from home at the top of the table that we've played thus far. That's fine. I'm totally fine with that. But like, how many teams have we even played out of the top 10 too? So like, it's making a straw, like you're tearing a hair apart and making more out of like something very minuscule, in my opinion, that is not reflective of Tottenham Hotspur. That's just reflective of the schedule. Like, we don't control how good or bad the teams are that we face. We don't control when we play them neither. And we don't control when we play them at home or away. So again, it's just like pulling hairs here. Like, hey, whatever stick works, that's fine. You can do that. For me, it's just, it ain't that. It's much different. It is much different. But big up. I appreciate you being here and sharing your thoughts. They're always welcome, whether I agree or disagree. Hey, I appreciate you being here. Mick Dundee says that's the whole point of a forward press, to put players under pressure in their own territory and turn the ball over. That's what I'm saying, Mick. You do what you're supposed to do, and people say, oh, you got lucky doing what you're supposed to do. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I have a few funny things that I was going to go through. Jadon Sancho obviously keeps getting linked with our club, so wanted to bring that up. And then there was some striker talk. Look, let me see what order we're going to do this in. Let me see. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through all these so you can see them here. Oh yeah, I was gonna say Dan Kulusevski's quote. I'm not gonna make it big. I'll just read it real quick. So Kulusevski yesterday says, "It is early for the title talk. We will see what happens. Everything can change, so we don't need to talk about that. But we must live for the day with a smile, train hard, and not forget who we are. We must try to get better every day." Love that part. We must try to get better every day. It is not important what people say. The important thing is to work hard, be humble, listen to the coach, and keep the smiles on faces. Then, at the end of the season, we will see where we are. I love that. I love that. I love that quote. And it sounds like a quote from Ange Postecoglou. So, to me, that sounds like Dan Kulusevski is taking on board whatever Ange is saying, and now he is a reflection of Ange Postecoglou, which is all I want to see from all these players, personally. JC says, no, bro, I genuinely believe. Do you think City could easily beat away from home Newcastle, Brighton, Liverpool, Spurs, Villa, Arsenal, CFC United? That's already 8 teams. It's an open race this season. I think the Premier League wants an open race. Like, there's already fans of Bundesliga and La Liga saying, oh, Premier League, y'all make fun of farmers leagues, but you're becoming one because City run away with it every year. I think for the league standpoint, it's better if there's a title race. I don't think the league wants Spurs to be in that title race, but now that it's becoming closer to being true, I'm going to mute myself. I'm about to sneeze 1 second. So if I there it goes. It went away. Wow. I guess because I was looking at myself in the reflection when I did that. I was absolutely about to sneeze and it just went away. That was trippy. I hope it's an open race. I want to see an open race. I'm tired of this. I'm just tired of the way same people keep winning it. Hey, big up David. Hit me with the first super chat of the day and grab that membership. Big up David. Appreciate the support, brother. Going above and beyond. Going above and beyond the Call of Booty, and I appreciate that. Big up. You got my point negatively. I meant to say it's open season like the Leicester. Oh, well, I guess the way I interpreted that comment, I was just like, well, who have we beat in the top 10 away from home? And there's only one that we've played away from home. We haven't played any of the other ones away from home. So that was my only point. Like, what I guess my rebuttal would be to that argument. So I was preemptively expecting it to be some kind of argument. So apologies for that. But JC, I hope you're right. I think it is an open race this season, and I think we're one of the horses in it. Are we the favorites? Hell no. Do people doubt our horse? Hell yeah. Has this horse won that race? Not in our lifetime, but maybe this is the changing of the tides. That's my hope anyway. Callum Roche says, if he's fit, I'd start Basuma on Friday and sub him for Højbjerg after 60 minutes when we're hopefully ahead and just pray he doesn't get a yellow. Callum Roche, I'm the same way. Tomorrow's show. Wait, am I fucking doing a show tomorrow? It might be late. It definitely might be late. Or it might be early tomorrow. I don't know. But tomorrow we will begin the preview of, we'll start doing 11s and we'll start looking ahead because Friday it's coming up. Crystal Palace, we getting it on with them Eagles at Selhurst Park. But a little teaser to that, Callum Roche, I would say this. I'm absolutely starting Basuma. No question. I'm going with my strongest 11 away from home every single time. Elvis G says, if we win the league, the narrative will be everyone else was shit. If we don't win it, it'll be that we bottled it. This is the life of a Spurs supporter. That's fine. That's absolutely fine, Elvis G. I don't really give a shit. If we win the league, I don't care what anybody says. They can all shut the hell up. I'm Bayern up 3-1 now. Damn. Bayern, you bastards. Hydration Nation, go ahead and pause for the cause one time. I have not paused for the cause. Not one bit. But go ahead. If you got some water, drink it. Stay hydrated, my friend. Yeah, I'm getting updates. Did Harry Kane just score again or something? Oh, Harry Kane just got subbed out. Very nice. He got an assist before he left, though. Go in and assist the bastard. But Elvis G, you're absolutely right. There's just always going to be something, but that's fine. Rivals are going to cook up whatever they can to take us down a peg. But I think if we win the league, literally can nobody tell me nothing. That's just the way I see it. But big up. Elvis G agree. If we were 4 points clear at the top with one game to go, they would still say we will bottle it, even when it's mathematically impossible. Chris Peters says, Jacob, you on the same time as Colin and Jose, so just came back. No worries, Chris Peters. Yeah, I apologize. I did have to go live at this time. It is not an indictment on anybody. It is just purely because I have to. If not, the show wouldn't have been done. There would be no show. Like, there's a lot of people live right now. So again, to all of y'all that are here with me live right now listening to this, know that I very much appreciate you. I mean, I just refreshed my YouTube page and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 channels live right now. So honestly, the fact that you're here with me means a lot. I didn't expect the largest crowd, if I'm honest, because let's face it, it was an impromptu show, a show at a time in which I don't normally do a show. But hey, got to do it regardless. Got to do the content. Got to do my shows. Can't let y'all down. Plus, I gotta get this out, or else I'll just be sitting around the house with my son being like, I wish I could tell somebody this about Tottenham. I wish I could tell somebody this about Tottenham. And you know what? I'm just glad that y'all are here. I'm glad to be here. So. That is what it is. Yeah, there's a lot of channels live right now, so I appreciate anyone who is tapped in with us right now. Again, last time I said thank you to the 4 new subs throughout the show. There's a 5th. So there have been 5 new shows. 5 new shows. 5 new subscribers while I've done this show. So big up. Appreciate all of y'all. JC says, you are in the mix and have a head start. We are coming. I predicted at the beginning of the season, I thought Chelsea would do relatively well this year with no European football to concentrate on. Maybe they could do something nice. And y'all are actually starting to look like you're pulling things together a little bit. So I hope that doesn't continue, and maybe we could put out the fire November 6th. But yeah, y'all did kind of bottle that against Arsenal, but that's okay. You still got a point off them. Bayern up 3-1 now, the bastards. The tide has to change at some point. Otherwise, you're always drowning in past regret, says Mick Dundee. Come on, you Spurs. That's what I'm saying. You can only flip the coin so many times it's going to hit tails, but eventually it's going to hit heads. As long as the game ain't rigged, anyway. Big up KEM. Kim62 says, big up Jacob, early start so I can catch you. Dream, believe, achieve. Top of the league, happy days. Big up Kim, obnoxiously early. It was morning time when I started this stream, and it has slowly crept past noon here, so it is finally time to say a good afternoon from El Paso, Texas. But Kim, good to see you here as well. Appreciate that. But yeah, a lot of my Australian fans, which is number 2 demographic of this channel, are not even awake right now, so they're probably gonna miss this live stream. But that, you know what I mean, I like I was saying earlier, I just have to do it. It ain't the best for the channel, it ain't the best for me personally, but it's the only time in which my schedule will allow me to. Arsenal and United are so bad at UCL. UCL needs Chelsea. No. Y'all already won it not that long ago. I can remember. Chris Agambar says, big up Jacob. Big up Chris Agambar. How you doing? 5:30 a.m. here in Melbourne, says McDonough. 5:30 a.m. in Melbourne. Holy shit. That's early. Mick, good morning. I hope you're doing well down under. Yeah, still missing in Kunku. Reece James isn't 100%. Chilwell, Lavia, Badia Shield, Disasi. Arsenal a lot were lucky they were playing kids with average age of 21. 40 years added by Thiago. And y'all still gave them a run for their money. Reece James, as soon as he came on the pitch, I think is when y'all conceded the first, but he wasn't even in the right back position. Look, there's a lot of names there that changed the dynamic of that team, and Kunku's quality. Lavia, a lot of people wanted him. Badia Shield, quality. Reece James, when he's not injured, he's the best right back in the league. That's my opinion. I hate him so much because he's so damn good. But big up JC. I hope they stay out for longer. Personally, that's just my pettiness. But let me go ahead and keep running through this. But big up everybody in the chat. Again, real quick, just want to say thank you to David for grabbing the membership and the super chat. Big up yourself. Spurs GCTV using their membership chat here, saying that duck needs some milk in the corner. And Elvis G as well. He's a member, but he's still super chatted. So big up, and I appreciate y'all who are going above and beyond the call of booty here. And just, you know, you're liking the video, you're talking to me, you're hitting me with super chats. Like, just thank you. That's all I can say from the bottom of my heart. But let's keep running through what I got here in the Twitter sphere. For those of y'all that don't want to download that app, which I don't blame you, it's a toxic little cesspool. I just thought this was a fun little visual of Tottenham Hotspur. They tweeted, "This is our form. Draw, win, 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 draw, win, win, win. We keep going. We never stop. Ange Postecoglou is the father of us all." But that was just, I mean, I really had nothing to say other than look at that. Just look at those, all them dubs, no L's, only W's. I'm just saying. James Madison, I wanted to share this because I thought it was pretty special. He says, first goal as a Lily White at a place I like to call my new home. I fucking love James Madison. And I apologized yesterday for being a salty poo-poo head whenever 3 years ago Michael first said we should get James Madison. And I was like, no, I don't want him. And I was hating on him like a loser. Like a loser in my mother's basement, which my mother never had a house that had a basement, by the way. So it's just, I'm just taking the piss out of myself. What a guy. He scored his first goal at home. I love him so much. And when I read this, he's the one on his social media because he's always doing some funny stuff. He just says first goal is a lily white at a place I call my new home. And doesn't he just seem like he was born to play for Spurs? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But fucking A, James Madison, I love him so much. You know what? Live on air, let's just comment while we're here. I love you. There you go. There you go, James Madison. Live on air, we just said that we love you. Because we do. I think he was born to play for Tottenham. But I love that he's feeling the love. He's feeling Tottenham through and through. Just need to add a Coys at the end there, but he's got the lily white heart, so that's all that matters at the end. That's Højbjerg's stats there. Let's see what else I want to bring up. Look at this. I just thought it was funny. Someone said, Pedro, bro, that's crazy. They sandwiched Giovanni Lo Celso, him and Vicario, and then he gave him about 3 thrusts. Not sure how many thrusts is appropriate, but 3 thrusts on the sandwich of Giovanni Lo Celso was enough for me to say I needed to bring this to everyone's attention. 3 thrusts from Pedro Porro on the sandwich there. Just for what it's worth, the love is being shared amongst the players. They're calling us boyfriends FC, and I'm okay with that because look at the love. I love the love. But isn't that quite sweet? Anyway, 3 thrusts. What was it that Key and Peele said whenever they did that spoof? They did one of those skits. They said, like, how many thrusts is too many thrusts? You can do 2 thrusts, but 3 thrusts? Now that's too many. Shake it once, that's fine. Shake it twice, that's okay. Shake it 3 times, and you know the rest. Big up Gio Reyes in the house. How are you doing? Says big up everyone. And JC says Spurs need to add depth in January. If you don't, you would be happy that there is no distraction of Europa and League Cup. Look, I'm excited right now that there's no League Cup or Europe to play. Just focus on FA and League. That's all we got to focus on. That League Cup giveaway was charity, though. It wasn't a giveaway. We didn't lose. We just lost it in penalties because Davinson Sanchez was 3rd in rotation, which that is an atrocity. A clerical error that led to exit of the cup. But you know what? It was Ange Postecoglou before the closing of a window saying, I'm going to give them a chance to fucking do or die. And they died. They did not perform well. We ended up going to penalties, and we lost it there. But we did not lose within the 90 minutes. So even though there were a bunch of fucking bums on that day, it was a heavily rotated squad. Ange was showing the board and the world, everyone, I cannot rely on these players. And what did we do? We got rid of some. So it is what it is. I'm fine with that. I don't need the Carabao Cup. We got the FA Cup. What do they say? The double's on. The double is on. AC says, it's kind of crazy, but you think him and Sonny could be such a lethal combo. Maybe one day they can break a record. Do you think one day Madison and Son will be the ones to break the record of Son and Kane? There'd be something to say there about Heung-min Son and number 10s. Him and a number 10, they just can't stop scoring. I don't know. But I love to see the combinations they're making, their link-up play. They had one hiccup yesterday. Just the one, and they just came back from international duty, so that's to be expected. It's okay. But yeah, it is crazy, AC. AC also says Sanchez is doing well in his new team. We have a few Galatasaray fans that do tap into the channel and show some love, so big up to them, folk. But I love to see Sanchez was at fault for a goal, and he assisted 2 goals in their last Champions League win, so absolutely. May it continue. Chris Agambar says, who do you love more, Madison or Traore? Look, Adama he's one of those like you love, but you love from afar because he ain't done much for you. You know, he ain't done much for me. I just used to watch Wolves because of him. We are lucky he wasn't featured on the day yesterday, but that's besides the point. I love Madison more than I love Traore ever. I love Madison more than I've ever loved Adama Traore. Adama's like, you love that artwork, you love that specimen of a thing, but Madison is like a guy who's making everything better in my house. Like, how could I not love him more? I love Madison so much. That's a great question though, Chris. Everyone who's rocked with me for several years knows my love of Adama Traore. I am not ashamed of it. I am not ashamed of it. I put money on Spurs to do the league FA Cup double. odds are 150 to 1. So if you bet $1, you get 150. You bet $10, you get a 1,500. That's worth $10. In the off chance that it happens, that'd be funny. Then you get some money. Put 100 on it, you get 15,000. Did you mean Sanchez, the goalkeeper? If yes, to be honest, that goal was also on Conor Gallagher, who laid the red carpet for Rice to take a hit. Pass has two ends. Oh, I was talking about Davinson Sanchez, the guy that we sent to Galatasaray. That's what I was specifically talking about in that instance. But yeah, Sanchez, the goalkeeper. I'm curious to see, JC, tell me what you think. How do you think Sanchez, the goalkeeper, will fare with our high press? As you can remember, that's kind of how that Rice goal happened. Was Arsenal were pressing you pretty high up. A little bit of a pass, that miscommunicative pass between Sanchez and Gallagher that led to that goal, which hey, I've seen Højbjerg hit those as well. Just saying, Rice ain't all that in a bag of chips. He's just Declan Rice. That English tax is something crazy. Also, I started this because I thought it was interesting. Well, interesting enough. So this is from Telegraph Football, which I thought they were pretty much. I thought they were pretty big enough account that over 500,000 followers. But they're actually giving us some credits here. It says, never before in the Premier League has a manager had such a rapidly transformative effect on a squad, on a club, and on a fan base. And that includes us, folks. The last part there. On a fan base. Just think about the rapid transformative effect. I love this word from actual writers. I mean, I just love it personally. Sorry, Paul Beatty just texted me, and I said, good morning, you beautiful bastard. Wait. There, I said it. But I thought this was pretty interesting just for the fact that they're talking so highly, and then look at this on the cover of it. Tottenham are no longer Spursy under POSTECOGLOU'S. Everyone say good morning to Paul. He just texted me. Big up, Paul. I thought that was interesting, though, here from Telegraph Football. The fact that they're talking to us a little bit nice. And I always say, talk to me nicely every single time. It's time to talk to Tottenham nicely. But they're actually saying we're no longer Spursy under Ange POSTECOGLOU'S. And music to my ears, because that is one of the myths that I feel like he's going to break and exterminate from the club. That's the word I was thinking of. Sonny leading the league with his pressing. Our pressing is really lethal with our forwards. AC, like I said earlier, this is how we got them 2 goals with that pressing. Drula says, don't worry, Jacob. Every time we were linked with Adama, my CV was sent to Spurs. Oh, and Overrub, are you a massage therapist? That must be what. My CV was sent to Spurs as well, because I'm not a therapist or a massage therapist, but what I am is a lover of oil, so to speak. JC says that goal wasn't completely Sanchez's fault, Jacob. The players were tired and Gallagher didn't cover. You tell me, is Poch regularly getting subs wrong? I've seen Poch make confusing subs in a few games already. I mean no harm. When Ange was linked to CFC, someone said, why are we being linked to a Wi-Fi password? How wrong was he? Whoever said that, proper jerk. JC, they said the same thing when our scouts unearthed Kavica Kvaratskhelia. They said the same thing. Fans were like, oh, we don't want a Wi-Fi password. And then guess what? He ends up going to Napoli. Now he's worth 200 million. So it's quite crazy how things end up working out that way. And look, a lot of our fans, well, not a lot. There were some fans that were saying no to POSTECOGLOU'S, but a lot of the online campaign against Ange POSTECOGLOU'S when we were linked with him was from Celtic fans because they didn't want him to leave. So they were making fake accounts acting like Spurs fans saying no to POSTECOGLOU'S in the hopes that that would like generate something. So Timmy says we top of the league. We top. Timmy, hey, we are top of the league. Spurs GCTV, big up with a 10-pound dono to the channel. Big up to the GCTV family, first and foremost. Spurs GCTV here says, just Googled Spursy, and it says top of the league. We're top of the league. Spurs GCTV. Talk to me nicely. Big up. Thank you so much for the super chat. Love this. With the super chat, just to brag, just to say, look, Spursy means top of the league now. And when you use Spursy, it's time to say it nicely to me. Honestly, I woke up and I saw a video on Twitter from Patty Power. They like to do videos and stuff, and they usually do funny ones about Spurs or etc. And in the video, I guess they filmed it before we went 9 games undefeated. But they did bring up that they're not going to call us Spursy anymore. And then they made a joke like, shut the fuck up, they're always going to call you Spursy. But guess what? After we win the league and an FA Cup and then a league again, Spursy is just going to be a term in reference to top of the league. Spurs GCTV, just like you said here. I love it very much. I'm going to leave that up because anyone who's just like thumbing through, I want them to be like, oh, look at that big super chat, and it says we're top of the league. So big ups. Thank you for the donation and being braggadocious with me today. It is vibes from the day after, folks. We are okay to enjoy and celebrate and feel good about what we've done thus far. Let's look back and enjoy what we've done while knowing we still have a job to do full on ahead. But big up Spurs GCTV. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to go ahead and look through the next things that I got here. Michael Hamilton, a great follow on Spurs Twitterverse if you're on there, says, most fans talking about Madison and Van de Veen being our best signing in the last transfer window, but Vicario must be in that conversation too. Big up. Look, this is all I want. He just needs to be involved. I'm not saying he is the one. I'm not saying Van de Veen is the one, but they both deserve. And we're not even just talking about Spurs last transfer window. I'm talking fucking Premier League transfer window. I'm just saying. I don't mean to big up my own dudes too much, but what center back signing has been as influential as Mickey Van de Veen to this club? What midfield signing, not just a 10, a 6, an 8, any midfield signing, which one of them has been this crucial to their team? Also, Vicario, what goalkeeper that has come into their team this summer has had this much of an impact, has kept them in this many matches? I'm just saying. Vicario must be talked about with respect at this point. Still highest save percentage in the league. What a beast, what a dog, what a motherfucking goblin. Big up Chris Peters says, Jacob, I give you all rights to show my vids from last night if you want. Let me see which ones that you sent. Should I did think about asking because I was like, I want to make sure that I don't. You sent me another one here, a little 59-second clip. I'm watching it down here. Let's see. Maybe I will share it before we end the stream. Let me see what this is. Yesterday, you sent me your views. Oh, it's got music. But if I kill the music. Oh, this was at full time. Very nice. Hey, everyone's celebrating. Love to see it. Love to see it. Hey, keep them coming. I will use them in the future, Chris. So make sure you get goal celebrations and all that, like crowd reacting to goals. I'll use those. I'll credit you as well. That'd be fantastic for the channel. A lot of channels get like when they have clips from the game when like Sun scores and they say goal Sunny and a bunch of Korean hashtags, those get like 50,000 views. So a lot of channels that do attend matches, they do that. And hey, fair play to him. I just can't do it because obviously I'm way over here. But Chris Peters, if you're at a match again, let me know and send whatever you want to send and whatever you're comfortable with me sharing as well. JC says it's a pity to miss UCL with old format this season. Next season it takes a league format with a lot of useless games. The fun will be sucked out since the unpredictability reduces in league format. Look, I haven't even been paying much attention to UCL. Like when there's big matchups, the PSGs, the Bayerns, and the Real Madrids. I keep an eye on those. Obviously today I did not watch the Bayern match, but that's okay. I will watch United and the other Copenhagen, I believe. Copenhagen. So I'll watch that. That'll be a lot of fun. But big up, JC. I kind of like watching Champions League knowing that like none of this is consequential to Spurs. because last year was very tough to go through. I saw this tweet. I thought it was funny. I just wanted to name and shame this guy, JEL at Just Gel AFC on Twitter. This bald, he looks like really disgusting. Says he's a season ticket holder at the cock end, which is very nice for him. But he responded to James. But so James said the tweet that I showed earlier. First goal is a lily white at a place I like to call my new home. He quote tweeted it for some attention, so I want to give it to him. And he quote tweeted a tweet from James Madison from when he was 13 or 15, something like that. And says, "Okay, James." And I just thought it was funny because this person then called them out and said, a 50-year-old bloke tweeting the words of a 13-year-old, I promise you'll never guess the location in his bio. Let's see. Let's go visit his bio. The cock end. There he is. Look at this guy. This guy brings up a tweet of a 13-year-old boy and uses it to banter him when that boy is now a man. And that's how rival fans act. I mean, if I look like him, I'd probably use those tactics too. Because that motherfucker's ugly as hell. And if anyone knows him, I'm sorry, but your boy's ugly as hell and he needs better banter. Invite him on the channel. Tell him to come banter me better than that. Because this is just weak. This is weak. Like, this was one of the things that people used to banter us when we signed James Madison. You signed a guy that doesn't love Tottenham. Well, what the fuck's he doing for Tottenham? And what's Odegaard doing for Arsenal? Huh? That's what I want to know, Gel. It's funny, his name is Gel, like hair gel, but he's fucking bald. What a loser. Talking shit on my Jamie Maddie the Baddie. Maddie the Body will not be slandered in front of my eyes. I will bring you up. So whoever watches this video, they get to see this old, ugly, bald-headed bastard talking shit on the internet because he thinks that he hard or something. Like, look at him. His head looks like a chicken or an egg. I think that's what you meant. Egghead looking ass. Wants to bring up a tweet of a young teenage boy and use that as an. That's what I said at the top of this. Well, maybe not at the top of this show. Oh, that's a good one, Callum Roche. It must be gel for jealous, because it definitely don't stand for hair gel. I'll tell you that much. Oh, you meant cock. There you go. I like it. He does kind of look like a penis, doesn't he? But again, this is what I was saying. Rivals are going to find any stick to beat you with, whether it's a twig, whether it's a branch. They're looking for whatever they can. So this guy, obviously feeling some type of way that we're back to where we belong at top of the league. He just wants to try and bring James Madison down a little bit. So that's fun. That's funny. He thinks he's doing something there. Okay, Gel. And then Twitter is a fun place sometimes. It's also a hellscape. Oh, yep, there's my comment. I just said cry more. Like, I didn't want to go too hard on him because I was like, I'll bring you up on stream and laugh at you there. I'll pull up your face and laugh at you there. Anyway, that's all the attention he gets. He reminds me of that guy that vandalized our stadium, just a goofy looking bastard who's very upset with Tottenham, and that's funny to me. Let's see here. The next thing I wanted to bring up here was a tweet from Sport Bible, and this is why I thought this was pertinent. So again, I showed you earlier the draw, win, 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 draw, win, 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 right? That's our form as of now. But I thought having the scores next to it would be something very interesting to look at here. What stands out to you? To me, the first thing I see is at least 2 goals scored in every match that we've played, except for Luton Town, who apparently is the only motherfuckers who can stop us from scoring 2 goals thus far. I find it kind of funny. But look at that. A bunch of 2s on our end. We average, looking at that, that's fucking nice. 5-2 versus Burnley. A little out of characteristic, a little bang, bang, bang of the goals. But hey, I'm here for it and I love to see it. So look, I thought this was an important thing to bring up because only one club has stopped us from scoring more than 2 goals. No one else can stop us from scoring more than 2 goals. Or scoring at least 2 goals, I mean. Scoring at least 2 goals, I should say, is what I should say. To be fair, we would have had more than 2 goals versus Luton if Richie didn't have 2 left feet. Yo, we would have been up 3-0 versus Luton if Richie could finish his damn dinner. But alas, here we are. That's interesting. Let's see how the poll's doing. 73 votes, 64% says, I feel good. Can't nobody tell me nothing. And I love that. 26% says, enjoying the now while looking ahead. And that is a great answer as well. And 5% and 4% out here. 4% says that Spurs have still been lucky, and 5% says waiting for the wheels to fall off. Keep on waiting. They praying on my downfall, but I don't even see them because they ain't up here with me. That's all I'm going to say about that. Only conceded 8. 2 were pens, and 2 were deflected own goals. That underlies how good Big Vic and the defense has been. Look, someone commented on yesterday's video and said the Bermuda Triangle that we have right now with Van de Veen, Romero, and Vicario. It's a triangle. Let me do. How do I do it? You get what I'm saying. What trio? I can't think of a better trio right now. I guess maybe City. You always got to throw City out there, right? Dub Shaman says 10 men against Luton is why 1 goal. Hey, good point. I did forget about that. Lest we forget that Basuma was sent off, but that could be a reason why we only did get the 1 goal. It was a scrappy game. Shout out Mickey Van de Ven. Big up, getting his first club goal. I need Ugodi to get his first club goal, if I'm honest. It's about time. It's high time that he go ahead and get that goal. Let's see what else we got to run through here before I sign off the show. Look, real quick, I do want to ask y'all, those of you that are here live and on playback, Fabrizio Romano has said Manchester United are open to any January transfer offer for Jadon Sancho, with the winger's United career 90% over. Now, I know his wages are something obscene, like $300,000 a week. Fucking crazy. I don't want to spend that much on a player, but it's not my money. Jadon Sancho, Jadon Sancho at Borussia Dortmund, I'm taking him as over any one of these wingers we got in our squad right now. Jadon Sancho at Borussia Dortmund. When he was at Borussia Dortmund, holy shit, this man was nasty. Nasty. Now, I think Ten Hag has killed him a little bit. But what does Ange Postecoglou do with players that have been killed by a manager? Ask Basuma. Ask Sonny. Ask Kulusevski. But just ask Romero and Basuma and Sonny what it's like when a manager just absolutely kills everything you got going. But my question for y'all is, would you take Jadon Sancho, and does he start in this squad? Callum Roach says we could get him on loan for the rest of the season on trial. Maybe we pay 50% his wages and just see what he does. See if he can be the player that we saw at Borussia Dortmund. I'm willing to take that gamble. Absolutely. We need a winger option. And this guy, say what you will about him at Man United, but again, I highly encourage you to just Google Jadon Sancho at Dortmund and just watch that, because that was something special. He was something special. And I thought, damn, I was really upset when they signed him for, what was it, 60 or 70 back in the day? I was kind of jealous. And then I saw what happened with him, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm not. But then you start, you pull the rug up a little bit, and you start seeing what's underneath, what's been swept under the rug. And honestly, there's a whole lot of problems at United that's affecting a whole lot of players. But Jadon Sancho, his player profile is the kind of winger that Ange Postecoglou would use, I think. And I rate his player profile over the likes of who we have now. Maybe just like a little bit slower than a Brennan Johnson, but a little more girthier. I don't know. I would like to see what he could do for us. Callum, Big Up Dub Shaman says, if Ange wants Jadon, I want Jadon. If he does not, then I do not. And I love the fact that Ange said at the beginning of the season, no transfer is going to happen without my approval. So you can guarantee that whatever happens, Ange Postecoglou is given the green light to. So Dub Shaman, I do agree with you on this. If Ange wants Jadon, give me Jadon. But that is that. And I will be wrapping up the show here very shortly. I think think I've covered about everything I wanted to cover. Vicario's Instagram captions are good. This is the last thing we'll go off of here. Vicario is a demon on the pitch and in the social media realm. He says in his caption, when your mate asks you a clean sheet for his fantasy team, no problem, mate. Yesterday was great. Let's keep pushing. Here, let me make it big so you can see that real quick. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it from Vicario. He's a menace in between the sticks. He's a menace on social media. Love me some Vicario. Chris Peters says Jadon Sancho's salary will be too much. But again, if we can get him on a loan deal, I'm sure they'd be happy to just pay 50. Because if they can't get him out the door, they're going to be paying $300,000 for a player that's fucking off to Belgium or wherever he's training. So I would think that we could get it on a percentage deal like the Tanguy and Ndombele thing. I know we're still paying some of it, but we ain't paying all of it. So maybe we could do that. But big up, everybody. I do appreciate every single one of you that has tapped in live or on playback. If you're watching this almost 2 hours in on playback, big up yourself right now, and I do appreciate you very much. You help the channel be what it is. And I want to say thank you to the 5 new subscribers that have subscribed throughout the show, which is actually crazy because the most people we've had at once watching was like a little over 50, and we got 5 new subs. So big up to the 5 new subs. Welcome to the family. So thank you so much for being here. And helping the channel grow in the way that you can, which is hitting that like, hitting that subscribe. It's absolutely free, so really no reason to do it unless you just really don't want to. But that is that, and we shall see. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to redirect y'all on over to a good... Look at that. Irish Hotspur's live. Let's go on over and say hello to the Irish Hotspur. I'm going to send y'all on over to a great place, the Irish Hotspur. If you don't know, well, you are about to find out. And go ahead, tell them USA Raid, hit the like before you leave if you can't stay for any longer. But I do appreciate everyone who has tapped in. Hit that like and participated in the poll. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll real quick at 76 votes. Says 66% with a resounding win. I feel good, bitch. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Love to see it. Love to see the likes as well. Appreciate everyone who has hit that. Let's see if we can get this video to 100. We did with yesterday's, so let's see if we could do it again today. I do appreciate everyone again. Sorry about the time changes. It is a fluctuating thing. My wife, she's becoming a professional, getting more and more clients. The schedule's been fluctuating, but once we get it locked down, it'll get locked down, and then my baby will be born. So that's life, I guess. But also, before I leave, let me say thank you one last time to David with the super chat and the new membership. Big up yourself right now, David. Thank you so much. Spurs GCTV with the membership chat, and then with the £10 dono to the channel from Spurs GCTV. Big up. Thank you so much for your financial support on the channel, as well as Elvis G with a £5 dono. Double dipping per usual. Elvis, thank you for blessing us again. So big up yourself right now. Big up James Paratrooper. Hope you're well. Big up Beer Talks. Says big up Jacob. Can't stay long. Busy lately, but I dropped a like. That means everyone else can too. Big up Beer Talk. I appreciate you doing that. And big up Mrs. RG in the house. Says thanks for a great show. Anytime. I appreciate you being here. Thank you everyone for working through these struggles with me. Again, those of you that were here, even though there weren't a lot of people, y'all the real ones, y'all the loyals, y'all the day ones, y'all the A ones. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know, and I ain't got to explain it. But I do appreciate y'all tremendously. And I will be back tomorrow at some shape or form. So hit that notification bell, get notified live with this fluctuating fucking schedule that I'm trying to get a hold of. It is detrimental to the channel. It's detrimental to the views. But alas, c'est la vie. It is life. I do not control everything in life, as everyone knows, but I will be here as much as I possibly can, saying hello, sharing my beautiful face and my thoughts with y'all. But I hope you've enjoyed this one. I have. That's going to be episode number 79 of the Untitled series here on United Spurs of America. So until next time, folks, as always, stay fresh, stay blessed, up the lads, and come on, you Spurs. We're top of the league. Don't fucking forget it. Course.
Spurs of America with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.